You guys, so I don't have a problem working. It's just that I don't want to do it, you know?
Ah, true words were never spoken by the queen of the sugar babies, Kelsey.
Kelsey.
She's standing at the crossroads between love and luxury. You know what? On this week's episode of Real Housewives of Rhode Island, the Saturday Night Fever dream gave us sugar babies, it gave us soft launches, doll collections, marital grief, and accusations that were seriously flying harder than any of the disco balls at a party that absolutely no one needed. I do think it was curious how Kelsey is continually standing at a crossroads between love and luxury. Um, Jared, bless his heart, more committed to coffee than marriage, and Rosie opening up about family trauma. And Brian looks like a man who is possibly one rumor away from collapse. Poor guy, could not feel worse for him.
Well, I don't feel bad for him. I feel bad for his wife. But you said that perfectly. You
Yeah,
really got all the highlights in this episode.
it was definitely a lot of I think the first couple episodes they were establishing who these women are, who these
Hmm.
husbands are, who they are as a couple. Now we're getting into the nitty-gritty. But before we get into all of that, I do want to say that Alicia's dolls were the star of the show. They were the healthiest girl to girl relationship in the room. And I was so
Yeah,
amused at how much she loved these dolls. I mean, you cannot talk her out of this doll collection. She's got them front
never.
and center from the foyer to the doll collection. And I just thought it was so charming how much she was like really into it. It's
I
just
find
wonderful.
her so endearing. And
Yes.
I found this, it made me even endear more to her. Like, oh, she's so cute, you know?
Yes, 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 yes. And she was just adorable. She's just adorable to me. I just have to ask you, when she was talking about her boyfriend's reluctance to move forward with marriage, it kind of took me aback. She doesn't have any stake in the house that they live in. Nothing is 50-50. It sounds like it's like all of the resources are kind of leaning in his direction. And
Yep.
jokingly, I thought, well, do you think it's difficult to commit to somebody that has all these dolls? And I think, no, not so much, because that just shows her childlike laissez-faire, don't take anything seriously personality, which is so.
Right.
But
Right.
I could not feel more sad for her that in this relationship she wasn't empowered financially.
You know what, Elle? I agree so much, and that was in, like, the whole time I was watching the show, kept writing in my
Yeah,
notes, and I found myself getting so angry because what do you mean you don't have her name on the house? Like,
right.
that is wild. She cooks for you, she cleans for you, she gave you a human being. What more do you want?
I just found it interesting that we have two women on this cast that are financially dependent, not independent, but dependent
Yeah.
on their spouses or their sugar daddies, right? So you have, on one hand, you have Alicia, who's very obviously very much in love with her person, but
Mhm.
why isn't Billy meeting her halfway and honoring her as the love of her life and put her name on the deed, man? Just do it.
And
Just
why did Billy make her sign such a ridiculous, unfair prenup?
why did you sign it? Why did you sign it? Hey, I'm all for prenups. I have no problem with the prenup. Okay, give me one and I will,
Same.
and I stand by that. But there are other guys and there are better prenups. Like there are better guys and better prenups that you
Yeah,
could.
because even the lawyer that was handling the prenup told her, "You're getting nothing out of this deal." How are you not going to get anything? The whole point of a prenup is like, I get 2 million if you do this. If I stay for 5 years, I get 10 million. Like, you got to give her something, dude.
Whole point of it is to really make sure that your partner's assets that you both came in with are protected in the event of a divorce. And sometimes people, like Michael Douglas and Catherine Zeta-Jones, they definitely had those exclusions because Catherine Zeta-Jones clocked how Michael Douglas was cheating on Mimi Rogers back in the day. I was like, yeah, not today. You're not doing that to me. So this is how this is working out. you cheat this time, I get this much, year 2, this much, you know, da, 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 da. But at the same token, a loving man, just with or without prenup, should want to make sure that the love of his life is taken care of in some kind of way for all the hard work been putting in loving him. And I just found it just so sad that she has nothing. She's walking away with those dolls, which is probably worth a crap ton of money, by the way, so don't doubt it, but
I
that's all
mean,
she has is the dolls.
maybe 7, 800. I don't think it's like,
Seven, $800?
I don't know. I'm just guessing, but I don't think Bratz is really that. Is it profitable?
You know, that's a good question, but I know that there are some, like, I have a Barbie doll that I literally almost threw away, and I found out that it was worth, like, thousands of dollars.
Did you sell it?
No, it's in my semi-closet, which is a mess right now, but
Aw.
yeah, someone gave it to me, I didn't take it that seriously, and somehow I decided to go and I was gonna Goodwill it, and I decided to go look at it online and look it up online what the value was. I was like, "Oh, wow, really?"
Yeah.
Holding on to
Yeah.
that. So, there's a possibility that there might be some value in those dolls, but just facetiously saying, I'm sure she's walking away with more than that. But
Yeah.
if it came to that, but I just thought, wow, that's how telling is that? 2 women on this franchise whose entire lifestyle is dependent on the men that they are involved with. But clearly that's not stopping Kelsey from getting her fun.
Clearly not. With Rick, Bill,
Bill. Bill
Bill,
Uruka. Bill
William,
Uruka.
but she calls him Bill.
Yeah.
But yeah, based on what you said, I seriously have to agree because that it seems like Rhode Island is such a small state and the men are able to get away with more in a way.
Yeah.
Like it's giving old school RHONJ vibes,
Mhm.
you know?
I'm curious, and I don't wanna make an assumption, but I'm curious, do you think that the way the men are kind of positioning themselves in their relationship, is that endemic to the culture, which I'm thinking maybe mostly Italian or Irish,
Mhm.
or I don't know what the cultural background is, so I shouldn't probably even be speaking on this because I don't know, but
It's
part of
okay.
me wondered, oh, is this a cultural value where, like, men are kind of it's a very patriarchy, if that's even the right word.
No, patriarchal, yeah, like way of thinking for sure. It is. It is. And it's not right. But I know that I have friends with like husbands, and sometimes their men say things like that. And I'm just like, oh, girl, like what?
Yeah. Yeah,
It
my
hurts.
Yeah, I heard for Alicia, and that's just me. I mean, she's obviously living her best life, but you know, I come from the mindset that, you know, a life well lived is one that is with love, you know, and value. And of course, it doesn't hurt to not be broke. So I get that too. I get that too.
Yes.
Watched Bill and I thought, gee, Bill possibly, I mean, their ties go deep. They're childhood friends, and
Hmm.
with that, I'm sure that there's lot of natural affection there and possibly even more because they are involved obviously in a sexual relationship. But I kind of wondered, does he really love her? Like I kind of got the feeling that there's some real feelings there on his part, but he knows that he can only go so far because he's not working with cajillions and cajillions of dollars. He's
I
just a
know.
working class
Yeah.
guy, you know, living his best life. And he offered, you know, says, "Hey, I'll be here if you need me, you know, you ever think about, like, downsizing to me?" You know, and you could tell that that just was not worth it, and I think to myself, you know, what is the quality of her happiness right now? Yeah, she's with, you know, working class guy, and she's with wealthy guy, and she's got all the things, but what is the quality of her happiness right now in real if she had to really answer that for us or for herself?
And I don't think she will
Mhm.
truly answer it
Yeah.
honestly, you know? So I honestly like bravo, no pun intended, because you hit the nail on the head. I had the exact same thing in my notes. And it's just like I want her to stand in her own authenticity and just be herself, you know? Instead of living your life to like get a guy or please the guy you have. Like Maybe let's just search within.
Yeah, my hope for her is if she's happy in this arrangement, then go forward and conquer, and you are now like the aspirational sugar baby that every sugar baby should model their walk in sugar baby land after, but also secretly hope that she could at some point release the golden handcuffs and go where the love is, even if the love is towards herself.
You know what? Exactly the same because, like she said, her boyfriend has somebody. So she's with him 7 months a year, and he has somebody 5 months a year. You know what? I'm not good at math, so you do that calculation. So, on the one hand, though, that moment when she said, I mean, I can work, I just don't want to. I honestly don't want to. Like, look, if you're a mom who's been a stay at home mom, that's different. Like, if you had a health problem, that's different. But at least in New Jersey, if you interview, your boss is very well allowed to ask you, like, why do you have 10 years gap on your resume? So she's either going to have to lie or tell the truth, but I don't think it's going to be as easy as she thinks.
Well, she could leverage her Bravo celebrity, status, which
True.
which is you know, going to definitely grow as a result of the show, and to use that to get into some other ventures that require less commitment to working a 9 to 5. I don't think she's ever gonna be broke. There's also other sugar daddies to conquer, you know? So she's going to be fine. But not everybody values I mean, not everybody values work, and not everybody values
No.
actress. I personally value work, and particularly working and doing what you love, which doesn't ever feel like work, and so I think everybody has their own cross to bear, and if this is the one that she's doing, then, we'll go forward and conquer, but I do secretly, selfishly hope that she finds the love that she really wants, and doing that in a way where it's not transactional, it just is.
I wish that as well, girl. Like, I don't necessarily think she doesn't love herself, but I just think it's that money that she's having such a hard time with.
Oh, yes. Allow me to clarify. I am nowhere saying that you don't love yourself, but I'm saying that it does take an even greater expression of love to say, you know what? I don't like this situation 7 months out of the year. I'm going to go and choose me and do something different. And even if choosing me means I'm going to go choose somebody else who's equally wealthy but spends time with me and makes me the center of their attention, that's the love I'm choosing. That's what I meant by that. Sorry. Thanks
No,
for
no, no.
yeah.
I just, no, I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
And if she had that mindset, I think she's a very attractive woman. She has
Very.
a nice body,
Yes.
the right background. I think any man would scoop her up.
For
She
sure.
doesn't have to be trapped like this,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. So, but I do enjoy her on the screen. I think she's a little bit of a shady boots. And so,
A
uh,
little bit.
a little bit, I think yeah, she knows what she's doing. And I kind of love it. Can we just say that Rulla's Lebanese brunch? First of all, Rulla, I am so impressed how you put that lunch together. There was not a housewife cast member in the building. It was just her and her close circle of friends. And that
Yes.
brunch quietly just kind of became, in my opinion, the emotional center of the episode, where her friends were there to help her process the betrayal. And they did it with grace, and they did it with cultural honesty. And it was just brilliant, and it was beautiful to watch.
Girl, like, why are we sharing a brain? Because why? No, when I saw those women walk into Rula's house, I thought, thank God she has really good friends that
Yeah.
are there for her and not just going to use her life problems as like this gossip or whatever. And her friends gave her such good advice. They said nobody's perfect. Like that's what I would want to hear personally if God forbid like this ever happened to me. Like I don't like the advice of leave him, because I just feel like it's so generic, you know?
Me neither, because it's so easy to say, but it is so hard to do. There's financial constraints, there's loyalty issues at play, there's love at play, there's like, how do I live my life without this there's so many
Yes.
things that go in play when you think about leaving your person, and I've done it.
I know, same.
When the mind is made up, the mind is made up and there's no looking back, but it takes a minute to get there, right? So
It's so hard.
what I appreciated about this friend group, and I don't know the name of the friend that was to, let's see, I think she might have been to the right of her if we were watching TV, and she was more boisterous and maybe a bit older than the rest, but she was saying, "Get up!"
Oh, yeah, the one with the blonde, like, dirty blonde color hair?
Yes, and she was just like,
I
"Get up,
loved her. She was
break
like,
it up!"
"You
And
don't care."
I loved her, and it just really made me appreciate and reflect on my own friend group, and how I have a close
Aw.
friends that can sit with me and just tell me the truth and be honest and be like, "Sis, no, this is the way." In fact, I had a friend group, I was with this group of friends a while back, and I was considering something, they're like, "Yeah, no." And both of them said, "Yeah, no," and they were in 2 different spaces.
And
You know?
that's how you know you have good
And they
friends.
had not even talked to each other, holding me accountable, lifting me up at the same time, and so and what was interesting is that Rulla looked so much more comfortable, so much more at ease, and so much more authentic in herself with these friends than she did
Yep,
with
yep.
Housewives cast when talking about her marital woes.
And I understand that. I actually see both sides in the Joe Ellen versus Rula
Mm.
marital affair, and I'll explain.
Yeah.
However, Rula said she believes Brian, and I feel like you don't have to keep harping on it that her husband's cheating on her. Like,
Sorry,
I'm
guys.
sure she knows her husband is still cheating. She's not an idiot. You know what I mean? I just think she's at that crossroads where she's thinking, what can I do for income? Yeah. So that's basically what I wonder because usually when a housewife is going through a really difficult marriage, there have been times when like certain housewives kind of wanted to be on the show to have their own thing, and
Right,
I do not blame them.
right.
More power to you.
Right, and I know you and I have talked about this before offline. There does seem to be a trend with being a housewife and getting divorced. Sometimes you wonder if the women in these relationships feel so oppressed in the relationship that the show not only becomes an outlet in order to find their true selves, and now that they found themselves, they don't feel like they need to stand in the shadow of, this very powerful, wealthy husband, or does the show, and sometimes I wonder, I have no proof, does the show give them the voice and the fan base to help them move towards a decision of leaving the relationship that they would never have had before
Yeah.
had they not been on the show? Because the fans, I mean, you heard Amanda even on Summer House, not to bring up
Mhm.
the
Yep.
Amanda of it all, had to question, which I thought was a legitimate question. Did I get on the did I do I want to leave my husband because the fans are saying I should leave my husband, or do I want to leave my husband because I really want to leave my husband? And so the fans really do not only contribute to this edit, but I wonder how much do the fans play into the decision making of some of these relationships that have gone awry.
It might be a whole heck of a lot.
Right, right.
Yeah. And I know a lot of people live in the comments, like recently with the Summer House scandal, people have been saying that Amanda was reading the comments and she's depressed. So I think maybe deactivating, I don't know. I mean, if you know your storyline is going to be like controversial, I would just delete it off my phone.
Yeah. Yeah. So I hope the best, Ruella. I got the feeling at that lunch that Ruella is a very that probably leads with good intentions. First of all, she's beautiful. And can I just say she's giving Danielle Staub energy? Because I think Danielle Staub is, is a really pretty woman.
She's
But
very pretty.
Rulla looks like she could really be her sister.
Oh my God, you know who I was thinking, Elle? Tanine. I feel like she looks like Tanine.
Janine is so beautiful.
They're both stunning.
Yes. And a tiny
Yeah.
thing she is.
Rulla, you are stunning.
Yes, absolutely stunning. And I mean, let's go to the Studio 54 party. And
That's where I went really into that quickly.
how uncomfortable were you sitting at that table watching Joellen go at it with, and
Not as uncomfortable as Liz, apparently, because she came in to break it up. But no, I really wanted to get to the bottom of this. Look, I like Rulla, but I don't believe Rulla and Brian's story on just that front. I'm kind of believing Joe Ellen and Gary Moore because she has the proof of the emails, you know?
well, I don't know if this was an edit. I don't know if they pieced together the reactions on Bill's face to make him look guilty. I will say that Bill looked very guilty. He looked guilty from the private car and sitting at that table. He was so uncomfortable. And let's go back to I think it was the first or second episode where she's talking to him about these rumors.
Yes, at the pool,
Put
right?
your sunglasses on. Take your sunglasses off. See me eye to eye, and let's really talk about who you doing and screwing. Let's talk about it. Excuse my language. Sorry, mom.
Oh,
Had to go there. Had to go there, mom. So sorry. But let's really talk about it. And he is not leading with any sense of remorse. He looked very uncomfortable to go to this party. He looked like he got caught. And I got to give it to Joellen, although I do believe you should stay out of people's marriages. And though you think you're helping, you're really not helping. Sometimes you got to let people come to their own conclusions because deep down inside, that wife kind of secretly knows what's happening, but he's
mhm.
probably not ready to confront it. She was not letting him off the hook she was like a bulldog and a bone.
Yes, she kept her foot on his neck the whole
She kept,
time.
oh my gosh, that's what my dad used to say.
Oh my God. Aw.
She really did keep his foot on his neck.
She said, I'm not letting this go ever, ever, ever.
Yeah. Well, and to her point, you should never, like, somebody calling your job and putting this mess into your 9 to 5, into your livelihood. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm coming for your neck. And you know what? I got to give it to her husband. Those two, Bonnie and Clyde, equal homicide, killing
Yes.
Brian with every word.
They are perfect together. I mean, look, they've
I
had
kind of loved it.
their sexual history has a lot to be answered for,
Oh,
as they've said, because there's rumors about them being swingers, and then Joellen's had a lot of her friends are swingers.
yeah.
Bottom line, this is what I would want in a man. Like, if there is a situation where another man is talking to me, I want my man to step in, as old school as it is, you know what I mean?
Old school. And the look in his eye, which was not an edit, he was serious. He was serious. He was literally giving Goodfellas
Not good
G
fellas.
kind of energy for me, you know?
Ah, speaking of Goodfellas, I didn't watch Scarface until I was 27 too.
Okay, we need to talk about that.
Ah!
I was very disappointed that she did not know who Scarface was. I was
You're
even more
gonna hate me because I don't even like Scarface.
that's fine. I was
Okay.
disappointed at the fact that she didn't know what Scarface was and how old that made me. The fact that I knew it and she didn't know what it was. So I don't know
So
what
it's
was
a personal vendetta.
the personal vendetta. But yeah, so I don't blame Joellen, sorry. I don't blame Joellen for, standing in her truth and saying and calling him out on that. And I kind of don't blame her for trying to be a girl's girl and saying, "Hey, it's all out there. You're cheating on your wife." That's the show. But in real life, would I've done that? No, I would have probably just kept it to myself and talked to her privately and or not at all.
Yes.
Because I think people know what their husbands are doing.
Facts, Elle.
You know.
You said it so perfectly because if this was real life and you're at a pool party with your friends, the person's friends, your husband, there is no way you're just going to be like, "Hey, can I talk to you real quick?"
Right, right.
and just start some mess at a pool party. And was it a children's party or am I mistaken?
Was
Because
it
I
your
know there was one children's party in the.
Huh. This I don't recall. Help us out.
It's okay. It's
I don't
okay.
remember.
I'm sure they don't either. But I really love the way Gary handled it.
I
And
did too.
then Joellen clearly did too, because she announced to the entire group that he's getting some tonight.
Oh. Oh, yes, yes, he did say that. I'm like, "Wait, what?" Yes, you're right, he did say that. Okay. Tell the world. Alright. Good for you, and as you should. We'll leave it at
As
right.
you should. Amen. Listen, if that's my husband, I'm like, listen, whatever you want.
Absolutely. There is something kind of, sensational and sexy about, your man standing up for you, I cannot lie. What do you think about Jared in the coffee business?
That is such a hard question for Jared and Ashley, I think, more than us. Obviously, more than us.
Yeah.
But it's not making enough money. But I also think that Jared's ego needs a stream of income, even though Ashley makes more money as an influencer. What
Mhm.
do you think, babe?
Well, I think that he has a dream and she's doing the good work of being a wife to help him realize that dream and giving him the support. But I also see a woman that's very lonely in her marriage right now. And, the business should never be or the pursuit of the business or pursuit of sex, the pursuit of business or success should never be bigger than the marriage. But sometimes you can't really control that when you're so passionate about something. So they seem a little disconnected. Um, she remarked about how she's with the kids and, he's at the coffee shop and he's not really there to support her in the way that she would like to be supported. And that means something. I don't know how dialed in he is to where she's at with that, but I could
I
be
would
missing something.
say he's like 15% dialed in
Yeah.
out of a 1 to 100 scale.
Yeah. 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 I could see what you're saying on that. So I do hope they work that out. You know what my concern is? My bigger concern is
What, babe?
Uh, this cast needs to take lessons on how to throw a Studio 54 party from Erica Jane and Rachel's outfit.
Ah!
Nobody's outfit was screaming Studio 54 except for
Ashley? I
yes,
loved her Ashley's outfit. I'm
Ashley's
sorry.
outfit. The bangs, the jumpsuit, boom.
It was like fitting
Yeah,
that fit, but
yeah.
Jared, not so much. I didn't really get where the jeans came in.
Yeah.
Like, maybe just wear some black dress pants. Lord knows you have it for when you go to Aubrey's or Audrey's.
And we have Kelsey and Bill giving the soft launch, and Bill's walking in with the suit and the vest, looking like a meathead all dressed up for prom. It was our homecoming, rather. It was just a lot going on. Not one person hit that Studio 54 look except for Ashley and Jared, and you all did that. If you're going to do this party, do it right. Talk to Erica.
And
Talk,
Dolores looked good though.
I don't remember her.
Oh my God, she was in the show for 2 seconds.
Okay.
And my question on a side note is what's up with Dolores being on the show? Because for the last 2 episodes, we haven't seen any of Dolores. So I'm wondering if, like, maybe at the end she'll have a bigger role.
Well, she's a friend of, and she's a friend of
Hmm.
a housewife on Jersey. So, I think her not dominating the show makes sense because we have to have these women evolve and mature into their own franchise without the help of Dolores. Obviously, they don't really need Dolores. Dolores is just there because she's a friend of the group. Thinking that we're probably going to see her take more center stage when Liz's storyline comes to the fore.
Good point.
I have a feeling Liz's storyline is going to really be about the Dino and Liz, whatever that is.
And apparently, did you pick up on the fact that Liz said whatever Kelsey has going on with Dino was in their past? I have the exact quote. It was wild. So basically, Liz was insinuating that Dino and Kelsey had a thing.
You know, It is Rhode Island. Apparently,
Ah,
very fluid boundaries between mates and husbands and wives and swing sets and all of the things. So anything is possible. What I took away is each of these marital relationships is at a crossroad in one shape
oh
or
my God,
right,
same.
right. Go through it. Talk to me.
Oh my God, I literally wrote that when I was thinking, I was like, couples, cracks, and crossroads.
Yeah, yeah,
We are like this. Okay, so no, there's so many instances where I feel like this episode really showcased the relationships of the
yes.
women. Like,
Good.
we find out that Alicia is scared to get married for a very valid reason. Like, her fiance, who's also the father of her child, doesn't want to put her name on the deed or the mortgage. So, what does she have? And she went to a lawyer, and even the lawyer told her, "You're not getting anything out of this." And then on another note, I feel like we have Ashley, who's suffering at the hands of like your husband working too hard and not coming home enough. And I feel like a lot of people can agree with that. What do you think?
Yeah, I think you called it. I think Rulla and her husband are the clearest example of being at a crossroad. They have this fallout from this affair that has shaken the marriage. Um, Rulla is being pushed to decide whether or not she can truly, fully heal and rebuild, or does she have to choose herself and go in a different direction? And the brunch really illuminated that. You have Jared and his wife, as you said, you nailed it. Like we said, she seems very lonely in her marriage, and Jared is really consumed with this business. I've got to pause, and I'm not making an accusation. Sometimes when people are really consumed with their business, is it the business? Is it the passion for coffee beans? Is it the Don Francisco of it all? Or are you like, is there something in that marriage that where this becomes an excuse not to be home?
Where
These are
he's
things that
actively hiding from it.
Yeah, these are things that come up in my mind, and I'm not saying one way or the other, but these are things that kind of surface for me watching it. But the dynamic that they have is really kind of signaling that um, this is a partnership where either one or both of them uh, feel abandoned. And is it ambition, or
Yeah.
are they going to choose the marriage? Are you going to meet her where she's at, where she's a mother that needs help? That's gonna be
Yes.
interesting to watch, and then you have the Kelsey and the Bill, and this is less of a marriage crossroads, and it's more like a life crossroads. Kelsey wants security and lifestyle and all the things and the golden handcuffs and Cartier, and she's got the emotional
Who
connection.
doesn't,
Right,
though?
she's got the emotional connection with, Bill, who she doesn't wanna really let that go either, but Bill is in it to win it. He shows up in a vest and some plaid, he's there,
He's I don't know what about his outfit was Studio 54. Like, what part of that was Studio 54?
right.
However, look, do I think he's a nice guy? Of course, he seems like an amazing guy. Now, let's not forget Kelsey, who doesn't want to work. And she also said at that like brunch or tea time that I'll have as many kids as I have to as long as I'm getting a nanny. And it's things like that that I feel like maybe her other boyfriend can't really meet her on that. However, her Miami boyfriend, who stays there half of the year, he's definitely not giving her kids. So I don't
Yeah,
know.
I think the primary couples that I'm interested in seeing how they evolve, couples, wives whose crossroads seem to be a little bit more of a priority are Rulla and her husband and Jared and his wife. And I gotta tell you, I'm rooting for both of them because marriage is lovely and wonderful, as we know. But Jared and his wife are the biggest concern, and Rulla and Brian, I believe it is. Yeah.
I worry for Rula and Brian so much
Mhm.
because they just seem like, at least when this was filming, which could have been 2025, I believe it was, they were not in a good place.
Mm. And you got to wonder, how does the show help or heal that? Is the show going to widen that divide as fans are ending the chat? Bloggers, podcasters are talking about this. Does that widen the divide in that marriage, or is it going to bring them closer? Yeah, I think
No, it widens the
latter,
divide.
the latter. And so maybe the show itself and the fan base will help her choose. Uh, Speaking of marriages, let's get into our good old Scamanda West and Ciara.
Ooh,
You know
speaking of
we can't we've gotta
adultery.
talk a little bit about that. What's happening? I know you keep up with all the goss, I less so. You're
No,
like,
no, no. I will always tell you like whatever's going on. So as of our report yesterday, um, they went on a date and they went like somewhere in the city allegedly to watch a movie. And Amanda was, she did appear that she was picking her wedgie in
"Huh?
the picture.
Wait,
Yeah.
what?
Go on Bravo
No,
Rex.
I'm not. I'm not. I'm not gonna do
She's
that.
literally like,
I'm not doing that.
no, but
I'll be quiet. Hold on a second. I gotta circle the table.
not circle the table.
I actually did a 180. I didn't make it quite around.
You guys, I broke out. No, no. But this is also so crazy. It's that, are you calling the paparazzi West? West. I don't think Amanda would, but how do they always know where y'all are?
Oh, right. I'm sorry. I'm still coming back to life. This is certifiable. This is some certifiable-ish. I wish this was a Patreon version so I could really get deep and dirty, but this is certifiable.
It's insane.
It's
Like,
insane. And now you watch the old footage, similar to with the Scandival. You watch the old footage and you're like, oh yeah, how did I miss that? How did I miss? Like, it all looks suspect. You see it differently now, and oh dear God. You know what? Ciara is going to be fine. Kyle Cook is going to be fine.
I hope
These,
so.
these
I hope
two
they
are
both
not going to
are.
be fine. These two have some things that are ingrained as deep as that wedgie. And it's going to take a lot more than 5 fingers to pull it out, or two, or however many she used. They
Whatever
got,
Wes wants to use.
oh dear God, help me, Jesus. I didn't mean to bring Jesus into the
Also,
chat. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to bring him. But, I
sorry, Mom. I take it back, Mom. Sorry, I know you listen to
It's
us.
that this is some certifiable BS.
It's some are calling it diabolical.
Certifiable diabolical, all of the things that radical, maniacal, all the calls, it's all of those.
Sociopathic, even like
Sociopathical, it's all of the things.
narcissistical. But hold up. Did you see the post? So this is the latest. Did you see the post where Kyle Cook said, I've watched some hard to relive moments over the last 10 years. I've also seen things unfold as a viewer that I wasn't privy to as a cast member. And when I posted it, it was 2 hours later. So it seems like Kyle is really realizing that he did get majorly gaslighted.
Oh, Kyle, you got majorly gaslight. And I'm gonna tell you, Kyle, you have some growth to do. You should not enter a relationship until you really nail down your emotional center and get strong in here, and then go find somebody equally strong with you. Get out of the college dorm rooms. But now those dorm rooms make sense to me now. I know exactly why he was in those dorm. Yeah, that way, like,
So do you think he felt it and he was just like, F it after this?
I think as a partner, you feel when your partner, wife, whatever, are doing things sideways.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
agree. I
yeah,
agree.
yeah, I think he felt it and probably couldn't name it, and maybe that's why he couldn't find his words because he felt it was going on, but didn't know how to say, like, "I feel like you're doing me dirty."
Oh my God. You have such a good point. I just like thought of, wow.
Well, I've always, enjoyed Kyle let me start again. Well, I've always enjoyed Kyle, as a presence on Summer House. He's always made me laugh, and I think deep down inside, he has a big heart. He just has some struggles like we all do. Like, none of us is perfect,
Yeah.
right? And again, I say the way he stood for Ciara and, at the time it was, Maya, and when they were talking about their journey, and even this
Hmm.
season, of being casted on a show where they're the only 2 women of color as well as KJ, and how he
Hmm.
took ownership and says, "We don't understand your struggle, but we're there for you." Like, to me, okay, I'm forever team Kyle on that one.
Oh my
Uh,
God.
but I
Same.
but I do feel like he's got some healing to do. So you have 2 broken people that got married, and they should have just probably never have been married, right? So
Absolutely, Elle.
and finding himself is not at the DJ scratch a lot, although he has gotten better with the,
With the hands?
yeah, he's found his beat. Uh,
Ah,
so
go
there's growth.
Kyle.
There's growth
Go.
in that. There's progress in that, like, sky's the limit, okay? But
Well, we're
finding
gonna have to do a group trip to Kyle's next gig.
we should do that.
So let us know if you're down. Comment, like, and subscribe.
Subscribe. But his finding himself is not in that DJ booth, finding himself in the applause and the validation from fans, which I think really drives himself. He needs to figure out who he is without applause and validation and being the center of attention.
That's gonna be so hard for
Yeah.
him because I see his family and it seems like they praised him and they gave him so much love.
Yeah.
And you would think that's amazing, right? Like, wow, what an amazing family. But
Right.
it's been said that a lot of young adults who were praised, they just feel like they're owed everything, you
Right.
know?
Yeah. So, but rooting for you, Kyle. And honestly, I just took a half lap around the table. Amanda, I'm rooting for you to get better. Heal thyself first. West, you need to be like Ben and go down under and
Oh.
and find yourself. And with that, we bid you adieu.
Adios, West. I hope we don't have to see you on the city. Um, Before we end it all, I just wanted to say one last thing about Rhode Island, and it
Yes.
was that I felt so bad for Ruella.
Yes.
Oh, Rulla, sorry. And it's because Gary had Joe Ellen's back the whole time. And Rulla was just looking at her husband, Bill, and she's like, hello, are you going to say anything? And that scene did it for me. Like, I would get so triggered by that if it was my marriage.
Right. Right.
That's
I would
all.
too. I would too. This has been fun. Rhode Island, keep doing what
Always fun with you, doll.
oh, so fun. And maybe we could be morphed into one of the dolls. Can we be a Bratz doll? Can we have
Do
like
it.
can we can we literally personalize a Bratz doll?
Alicia, make it happen.
No, I'm looking it up right now. Oh my god, we can personalize a Bratz we can personalize a Bratz doll.
Maybe we should keep them when we do interviews and just seat them by ourselves.
I'm done with you. Okay. It's been
Ah!
Next up, Summer House. We dove into it a little bit. We're going to get into it tomorrow. We were going to do it tomorrow, but we've got another podcast to do. So thanks for listening. Love you guys, fan base, and love you more, Kat.
Love you so much and forever, Al.
Forever, forever, ever, forever, ever.
Forever, forever.
See you on the other side.
Bye.
Bye.